Hello, Laverne here, and thank you for joining me. May this video be a blessing to you, and may it honor and glorify God and His kingdom. A YouTube friend of mine by the name of The Smart Warlord sent me a link this morning to a news article that was just posted. It's dated 29th March 2011, which is today. And the headline reads, "Jordan battles to regain priceless Christian relics." And this article is just huge, or at least it has potential to be huge. And if you go to the link and read the whole story, you will see why. And I'm hoping you will give me your take on this. What do you think the significance of this find is? Now, it talks a little bit about what is found in the writings, but it doesn't give a lot of detail. It hasn't been translated into English enough to really let us know what's within these writings. And so I'm just going to be asking for those who will take the dare to share what you think we are going to find, if indeed these are early Christian writings. So I am going to read a little bit. The headline reads, "Jordan battles to regain priceless Christian relics." Then it goes on to say that they could be the earliest Christian writing in existence, surviving almost 2,000 years in a Jordanian cave. They could just possibly change our understanding of how Jesus was crucified and resurrected and how Christianity was born. A group of 70 or so books. That's 70 books, each with between 5 and 15 lead leaves bound by lead rings, was apparently discovered in a remote arid valley in northern Jordan somewhere between 2005 and 2007. I'm just going to let you read the rest, or not the rest, but read this bit here, and then I just want to get down to the more important things. If the relics are of early Christian origin rather than Jewish, then they are of huge significance. One of the few people to see the collection is David Eglinton, a scholar of ancient religious archaeology who is hitting a British team trying to get the lead books safely into a Jordanian museum. He says they could be the major discovery of Christian history, adding, "It's a breathtaking thought that we have held these objects that might have been held by the early saints of the church." He believes the most telling evidence for an early Christian origin lies in the images decorating the covers of the books and some of the pages of those which have so far been opened. Mr. Elkington says the relics feature signs that early Christians would have interpreted as indicating Jesus, shown side by side with others they would have regarded as representing the presence of God. It's talking about the coming of the Messiah, he says. In the upper square of one of the book covers, we have the 7-branch menorah, which Jews were utterly forbidden to represent because it resided in the holiest place in the temple in the presence of God. So we have the coming of the Messiah to approach the Holy of Holies. In other words, to get legitimacy from God. It reads, "There is a cross in the foreground, and behind it is what has to be the tomb of Jesus, a small building with an opening, and behind that the walls of the city. There are walls depicted on other pages of these books too, and they almost certainly refer to Jerusalem. It is the cross that is the most telling feature, in the shape of a capital T, as the crosses used by Romans for crucifixion were. It is a Christian crucifixion taking place outside the city walls," says Mr. Davis. One of the other things that is most likely pointing towards a Christian provenance is that these are not scrolls but books. The Christians were particularly associated with writing in a book, in a book form rather than scroll form, and sealed books in particular as part of the secret tradition of early Christianity. Another potential link with the Bible is contained in one of the few fragments of text from the collection to have been translated. It appears with the image of the menorah and reads, "I shall walk uprightly," a sentence that also appears in the book of Revelation. All right, that's just all I'm going to read from that. I really hope you will take the time to go to the site and perhaps look for other sites that have something on this. Now, I really would like to know what you think the findings are going to reveal. I mean, I'm thrilled, chilled actually, to think about the meaning of this, the significance of it. But I'm also a little scared when I think that it could actually break my model, destroy my model of Christianity. What if it reveals something that supports a particular doctrine that I don't agree with? Am I going to say, okay, I have to now change my model of what I think Christianity and what Christ was about? Or will I ignore these findings and refuse to change and say, no, the model I have is the one I'm going to stick with no matter what? Now, I'm just going to give a prediction of what I think the writings will reveal. I believe they will destroy some models of Christianity. I think these findings will support some books that were not included in the Bible. Books such as the Gospel according to Thomas and the Didache. I think it will support their writings. I think it will support the teachings of the Donatists and the belief system of the Donatists, in that the church is supposed to be full of saints rather than sinners. And I think it will revive this belief system that we really are supposed to walk like Christ, that we're not supposed to be sinning, and that we must, in effect, check our lifestyle. In other words, supporting the Donatist belief. And, well, those are my thoughts. That's how I believe the early Christian church was. And I believe the farther we go back and the more of these findings that we come across, I believe this is what will be revealed. All right, so what do you think about the significance, and what do you think, or what do you predict will be found in the writings? As always, I look forward to comments and messages and perhaps the odd video response. Till next time, peace and blessings.